Our first Democratic candidate, Senator Joe Biden from Delaware, has withdrawn after Iowa caucus election. He is your classic Democrat, and he represents the party values except Middle East. He rather break up Iraq into three smaller countries along their ethnic and religious groups, Shiites, Sunnis, and Kurds. And he would invade Iran if they continue their quest to develop nuclear weapons. Senator Hillary Clinton from New York represents the Democratic Party values in all issues. She differs from Senator Joe Biden to provide an orderly withdrawal from Iraq and willing to allow Iran to join the nuclear club. She supports amnesty and setting up a guest worker program for the illegal aliens. She also supports tighter border security, but not necessarily building a fence to separate United States and Mexico. Senator Chris Dodd from Connecticut has withdrawn from the presidential race after poor showing at the Iowa caucus election. He received less than 1% of the votes. His positions on the issues are equivalent to Senator Clinton, except he opposes the death penalty, which probably makes him to be more in line with the Democratic Party than other candidates. John Edwards, former vice presidential candidate with John Kerry in the 2004 presidential election, differs from the previous candidates on the immigration issue to provide amnesty and quick and easy path to citizenship, but they would be expected to pay a fine for breaking federal law for coming into the United States illegally. Secondly, he would impose stiff fines on businesses hiring illegal aliens. Mike Gravel, a former senator from Alaska, is largely an unknown candidate running for the job. Although he has not officially withdrawn from the presidential race, he has been receiving less than 1% of the votes. I am sure he is simply staying in the race for family prosperity's sakes. Congressman Dennis Kucinich from Ohio has been running for Democratic presidential candidate, but generally has difficulty garnering enough votes to get into top 3 spots. He received approximately 1% of the New Hampshire votes. He agrees with John Edwards on providing path to citizenship for the illegal immigrants. Senator Barack Obama from Illinois is running neck-to-neck with Senator Hillary Clinton. On every issues presented here is same with Senator Clinton except for case of Iran. He would consider invading Iran to ensure they don't obtain nuclear weapons. It is interesting as a Democrat candidate that he believes our intelligence that Iran has the capabilities to produce nuclear weapons, whereas Democrats did not believe in President Bush on Iraq. Governor Bill Richardson from New Mexico has withdrawn from the presidential race after New Hampshire election. He received 5% of the votes from New Hampshire and 2% of Iowa caucus. Our first Republican candidate, Rudy Giuliani, former mayor of New York City. He is a unique candidate who represents a combination of liberal and conservative issues. He is strong on several Republican issues consisting Middle East, Social Security, and taxes. Area of contention on same-sex marriage, abortion, and embryonic stem cell research have Christian voters at quandary whether to support him or other Republican candidates. Mike Huckabee, a former governor of Arkansas, is surprise Republican candidate, surpassing Rudy Giuliani and Mitt Romney, with him winning Iowa by 34% over Mitt Romney 25%. However, in New Hampshire he received 11% behind McCain 37% and Romney 32%. He agrees with Democrats by withdrawing from Iraq, won't invade Iran if they obtain a nuclear weapon, and providing illegal alien citizenship. Congressman Duncan Hunter from California is one of the most conservative Republican candidates, including having hard line against illegal aliens by deporting them and building a fence to reduce flow of illegal immigration. He received 1% of the Iowa votes and less than 1% at New Hampshire. Senator John McCain from Arizona is generally called Maverick Republican, siding with the Democrats on many bills in Congress that translates certain major issues in providing guest worker program for illegal immigration problem and donor support traditional marriage amendment. However, overall he supports most core Republican values. McCain had poor showing in Iowa, but he made a big comeback in the New Hampshire, winning the most votes of 37%. Congressman Ron Paul from Texas is actually a libertarian running as Republican candidate, but he is strong constitutionalist on how government works and Republican values on smaller government and etc. However, he has been running 5th place in both Iowa and New Hampshire, averaging 10% of the votes. Mitt Romney, a former governor of Massachusetts, one of the early favorites with Rudy Giuliani and John McCain running for the President of the United States. He has strong conservative values that resonate with many Americans. His religious background is Mormonism, but his values are in sync with many other faiths that make him a strong Republican candidate. He has been running 2nd place in Iowa 25% and New Hampshire 32%. Fred Thompson, a former senator of Tennessee and television star of Law and Order as well movie star. Is he another Ronald Reagan? His views are very consistent of conservative Republican values. Of all the Republican candidates, he is closest to Reagan legacy. He did well in Iowa, placing 3rd place getting 13%, but last place in New Hampshire getting 1%. Let's quickly review all the candidate positions again and then we will go on to the California propositions.